everyone involved, but not without magical moments mixed in.
The 3-2 pitch to Chris Bryant. In the air to center field. Herrera going back toward the wall. Does he have it? He reaches down. Did he make the catch? He made the catch! The 13th no-hitter in Philadelphia Phillies franchise history has a little bit of drama right at the end. Cole Hamels, he is back, and his teammates are mobbing him right around the pitcher's mounds.
The faces continue to change at Citizens Bank Park as the Phillies of the present and future develop a new look and new core for years to come. The final step of this campaign concludes today. It is the end of the line for baseball in Philadelphia 2015. Game number 162 at Citizens Bank Park as the Phils try to end this season on a high note. It's the Phillies and Marlins and Weekends with Schmidt presented by Acme Marcus. Hi, everyone, and welcome to Phillies Baseball alongside Matt Stairs and Mike Schmidt. I'm Greg Murphy in for Tom McCarthy. Game number 162. So, guys, it's the perfect opportunity to kind of look back at all the things that we've seen and take in what we're going to see in the future. And, Mike, I know one guy that you have your eyes on is a guy that you worked on with back in spring training, and that's the shortstop, Freddie Galvis.
Freddie Galvis. Greg, yeah. It's been a tough year, but there were some highlights and things to talk about. You surely can't overlook Jeff Francoeur, Cameron Rupp, Cesar Hernandez, who Matty will talk about, Odubel Herrera. But for me, the player that I watched this year and thought the most of on the team that accomplished the most was Freddie Galvis. You see Freddie here, his sweet defense. He's so smooth. He does not panic. He doesn't just gets the ball ahead of the runner to first base. Here you see Freddie on a nice play up the middle. Unusually smooth reverse pivot. Freddie, I spoke to him today when I came in. I wanted to go down. I hadn't talked to him in a while. And I said, what is the thing about the year that you felt best about for your performance? And he said, Mike, doing what I do, staying healthy all year is a big part of it. You play shortstop, middle infield, double plays, stealing bases, 550 at-bats. It's a grind for a shortstop as well as a catcher. Those guys do a lot of work on the opposite side of offense. So I look forward to Freddie having a nice, restful offseason. And I can't wait to see him come out next year.
Yeah, no winter ball for Freddie Galvis
right.
this year. He's going to take a little bit of time off. He set career highs in games played and hits and all good stuff like that. But another guy on the other side of the coin out there at second base who did not, Matt, start the season as the Phillies starting second baseman, really kind of midway through the year started to capture someone's eye. And once Chase Utley was gone, Cesar Hernandez took over that starting role.
Well, Cesar Hernandez went into spring training. Didn't have the greatest spring training, but all he did the whole year was improved. Once he took over at second base, showing great range of second base against Dexter Fowler versus the Cubs. That's one thing I really liked watching his defense and bringing the energy. He's a guy that can go out and steal bases when you need to. He was very, very aggressive earlier. Didn't run as much later on, but he has a great speed and the baseball knowledge of laying bunts down when he needs to. But what I really like about Cesar Hernandez is his swing. His barrel stays through the zone so long, being able to hit the ball to left center, right field. He just brings that extra energy. So I am looking forward to, one, him getting healthy with the thumb,
right,
going into spring training and showing what he can do on a full-time basis, getting 550 at-bats.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see what he's able to do in a full season. He will probably get that chance next season right from the start, and we'll be looking forward to watching Cesar Hernandez do that. Well, take a look at the guys who are taking the baseballs today. Adam Conley making his 11th start for the Miami Marlins. He's been very good for them, looking for win number 5. And David Buchanan looking to end this season on a high note as well, looking for win number 3 in 2015. We'll take one more look at Citizens Bank Park. 80 games are in the books here at home, but more to play. The field is ready, the fans are ready, and we are as well to play ball one final time. Phillies Baseball is brought to you by Citizens Bank. One deposit checking. Keeping things simple is helping you bank better. By Xfinity, the official entertainment provider of the Philadelphia Phillies. By Toyota. Where will Toyota take you? Visit buyatoyota.com today to find out. Toyota, let's go places. And by Independence Blue Cross. Live fearless. Learn more at IBX.com.
the dugout and the coaching staff, just to thank all of you for your tremendous support this season. I know it hasn't been easy with a managerial change, seeing some of your favorite players get traded away, but I know all of us in the dugout, we have tremendous pride in wearing the P on our cap and playing in front of you guys on a daily basis. You guys make it all worth it at the end of the day, and you're the reason we show up every day. So thank you guys again.
Well, Cody Asche representing the Phillies players out on the field before the game. Fan Appreciation Day, and showing his appreciation on behalf of his teammates and his coaches. Very nice job by Cody Asche as the fans start to settle in and get in their seats for the final game of the 2015 season. And David Buchanan is on the hill, and he is ready to go. So final game of this 2015 campaign is underway. The first pitch to D. Gordon is lined into right field, and that is hooking up against the wall. It's one up against the wall, and that's going to give D. Gordon a double to start off the game.
Wow.
Yeah. We didn't even have a
chance.
Check
out those socks.
Yeah. Well, let me tell you about today's starting lineup. It's brought to you by Xfinity, the official entertainment provider of the Philadelphia Phillies. Well, Gordon leads off, of course. Christian Yelich batting second, playing center field, followed by Ozuna, Bohr. Derek Dietrich gets the start in left. Casey McGee at third base. Tomas Talis is the catcher today. Miguel Rojas will play shortstop, and pitching and batting ninth is Adam Conley. Buchanan now delivers to Christian Yelich. What a night he had a night ago. 8 hits in the doubleheader last night for Christian Yelich, 8 for 9. And he already has a guy over there at second base, runner in scoring position as we start off the top of the first inning.
What a way to start off a doubleheader. 5 for 5. You go into a game, you're hitting .290. You have 465 at-bats. 8 at-bats later, your average jumps 12 points.
That's
now
right.
You're hitting .302.
Well, I was about to say the last game of the season always presents a lot of cool scenarios. And then that, of course, is one of them. Do I play? Don't I play? How important is something I might accomplish numbers-wise? Surely D. Gordon's got probably the most on the line here of anybody, vying for a batting title, right?
Yeah, he comes in today 1/100th of a point behind Bryce Harper. They're both betting throughout 331.6, or 331.6 and 331.7 is D. Gordon, but that leadoff base hit, the leadoff double, certainly will help D. Gordon.
Don't think D. Gordon winning the batting title would prevent Bryce Harper from being the MVP, if in fact he would be, but it could have a bit of an impact.
And Yelich swings through that one, and that's the first strikeout of the afternoon and the first out. As we take a look at David Buchanan's numbers, his 15th start of the season, he's 2-9 with an ERA of 7.54. Has pitched better of late, albeit not deep into ball games, but having some success early, and then Pete Buchanan has been removing him from games. And take a look at the scouting report, guys.
Yeah, it's 4-pitch pitcher, average velocity 89.6, and his average velocity on his cutter is 88.6, so it's a true cutter. Larry Anderson and I were talking about his cutter. We really like it. He just needs to get it down the zone a little bit.
Well, the batter is Marcell Ozuna, batting .261 with 10 home runs. Takes that first pitch a little bit inside for a ball. It's 1-0.
Now, this is the first time I'm back on D. Gordon, if I can be. First time I've seen the socks. It's kind of a throwback from my day, right?
Yeah. He did not have those on last night. At least I don't think he did.
Nope, he did not.
Yeah, I don't remember. Maybe it's a Sunday thing for D.
Well,
Gordon.
you see a lot of different. That's a good point, Murph. You see a lot of different things on your last game of the year.
And that is not pretty.
No, no. He's got to grow some calves to put those kind of socks on. But I will say about the last game of the season, people are in a hurry of swinging at the first pitch. And I hate to say this, but it usually turns out to be the longest game of the year.
Well, it's 3-0 right now to Marcell Ozuna. David Buchanan looking for the strike zone against the number 3 hitter in the Marlins lineup. D. Gordon takes his leadoff second, 3-0 pitch. He had the green light, swings and flies to center field. Aaron Altair goes back, and at the track makes the catch. Gordon will tag and move up to third base, but with 2 outs. That is where we stand. And that brings us to our Nissan keys to the game, gentlemen.
Well, key number 1 for me is Buchanan finished strong. His last 3 outings, he's improved. Like you said, Murphy's not going deeper into the game, but I'd like to see him finish strong and go into the offseason feeling pretty good about himself.
Yeah, for me, I thought it was kind of cool that Frenchie said he'd buy him a suit, and I think he might, I don't know, consider new hairstyle. I don't know.
Or bigger hat.
We'll let you talk to him
to
about
match
that,
the
Mike.
suit. But let's see McHale hit another home run or two or whatever and have a good day.
Well, that one is well hit into the right center field gap, but on his horse is Francoeur, in and out of the glove. No one falls to the ground. D. Gordon is going to score. Francoeur had that lined up and had the catch, and it popped in and out of his glove. That's going to be an error on Jeff Francoeur.
So easy it happens. You think it's so easy to catch that ball all the time, and you know, major league outfielders make plays like this look easy. Jeff's kind of just, you should be talking about this, Mr. Outfielder. But
you hit it right on the nose. I mean, he just missed it. It went in his glove the whole way
his
through.
glove and out.
Well, that'll bring up Derek Dietrich now with Justin Bourne down there at first base. One run across here in the first inning. That first pitch is inside to Dietrich, so it's 1-0. You don't see Jeff Francoeur. You don't see many outfielders miss that play very often, but it happens from time to time. That one's slicing down the left field line. It's foul. So it's 1-1 to Dietrich. You know, just to get back to D. Gordon, guys, and Mike, I don't know if you've heard this stat, but if he were to win the batting title, and he's already in the lead in the National League in stolen bases, he's one ahead of Billy Hamilton in Cincinnati. He has 58. He'd be the first player to finish atop the batting average and stolen bases since Jackie Robinson did it back.
Wow.
Yeah, how about that?
Quite a feat.
Yeah, it certainly is. So Justin Bourne takes his lead off first, and Dietrich swings and slices that one foul and out of play. So it's 1-2 now to Derek Dietrich.
Tell you, if I was as intense about pitching as I am about hitting, I'd just love to know what happened to David Buchanan coming out of spring training. Matty, you remember? I don't know. There was a hotter pitcher on our team at that time coming out of spring training.
1-2
or
pitch.
more confident.
Swing and miss, and he got him. Make the throw down to first base to complete the strikeout. And that is the third out of the inning. Well, you're right about that, and we'll talk about David Buchanan and what he has said he's changed over the last part of this season. But we'll head to the bottom of the first, and the Marlins have a 1-0 lead. Buchanan thinking things over after allowing the unearned run in the first. And today's starting lineup for the Phillies is brought to you by Xfinity, the official entertainment provider of the Philadelphia Phillies. Freddie Galvis will lead off, followed by Aaron Altair and Maikel Franco. Darren Ruff will bat fourth and play left field today, followed by Francoeur, Blanco, Eric Kratz, Cameron Rupp, and the pitcher, David Buchanan. First pitch swinging is Freddie Galvis. He lifts that one into center field, and Christian Yelich is over to make the catch, and that's one down.
You don't even get a chance to talk about these guys.
Are you sure it's the longest game of the year, Matt?
Trust me. I'm hoping it's not. It used to, because you think I'm going to swing the first pitch, get out of here, Next thing you know, it's about 35 hits total combined.
Well, Adam Conley is the pitcher for the Miami Marlins. You saw his numbers right there. He's been very good since being called up. There's a scouting report on him as well. First pitch to Aaron Altair is a little bit low and outside for a ball. It's 1-0.
Yeah, interesting numbers with the scouting report. 88 to 92. The average is 91.3. But the league is hitting a $191 versus a slider and 317 versus his changeup. So his changeup's usually up in the zone. His sliders, back foot slider to a lot of right-handed hitters.
Count is even 1-1 to Altair. He pops that one up. Justin Bour just in foul territory, and he makes the catch for the second out. That's 2 outs here in the bottom of the first, and that'll bring up Maikel Franco. Franco last night made his return. He pinch hit in game 1 of the doubleheader, then got the start in game number 2 and had a couple of hits, including a laser beam home run to straightaway center field, his 14th of the season. And Mike, as you pointed out, kind of looking for that magical 15 home runs on the year after missing a lot of time, and he'll be well dressed, not only attired if he does get that. First pitch is outside for a ball.
I tell you, it really is amazing what one player in a lineup, the difference that one bat, one person, one player can do to a lineup. Especially if it's a middle of the order, RBI guy like Franco or Howard. Like we watched the Phillies now for, I don't know what, a month, close to a month without Maikel in the lineup, and it just throws the whole lineup off. Trying to find somebody to hit third every day, when you come in.
Going back on that is Ozuna, and he's going to have room there in right field. Makes the catch. That's the final out of the first inning. So an easy inning for Conley as the Phils go 1-2-3. No runs, no hits, and no errors. Just 7 pitches for Conley, and after 1, the Marlins have a 1-0 lead. One up the Marlins as we start the top of the second. David Buchanan will face Casey McGee to lead it off for the Marlins. First pitch to McGee is grounded foul. So it's on 1 to McGee.
I'll tell you guys, I get the sense that everybody's in a little bit of a hurry here.
Yeah, if you have anything you want to oh, by the way, the sun has popped out.
That's a sight for sore eyes, isn't
nice.
It? The 0-1 pitch is in the dirt. It's 1-1.
If you have something that you want to talk about a certain hitter, you better get it up there very quick. There's flights to be made, travel on arrangements,
bags to pack.
Swings through that one. It's 1-2 now to Casey McGee. Well, we know David Buchanan always works fast. That's his MO. And it does appear as though the hitters are a little bit anxious to get this one underway. He's got his sign. Here's the 1-2 pitch. In the dirt. It's 2-2. Well, one of the games that baseball fans are keeping their eyes on the Toyota out-of-town scoreboard, the Angels and the Rangers. Angels with the 2-0 lead. How about Albert Pujols? Another home run, 2-run home run for him to give them the early lead in that one in the bottom of the first. And that one is a ground ball right at the second baseman. Blanco, he's up with it. 4-3, it goes to the putout. Why is that important? Well, take a look at the AL wild card right up to date. The Astros with a 1-game lead. They are playing also right now, as every major league game has begun at 3 o'clock today. That's kind of part of the charm. The Yankees 1 game up. Astros, well, if they win, they're in. But if they were to lose and the Angels were to win, well, then things get interesting. So we'll keep you updated on all of that stuff. And we're told that Arizona has just gone ahead in the first inning over the Houston Astros. So Tomas Talis is the batter with 1 out here in the top of the second. 1-0 pitch. Fouled off. It's 1-1.
And Bryce Harper is 0 for 1. So he is hitting .330 going into his next at bat, with D. Gordon hitting .332.
Advantage Gordon.
Isn't that a number 35 by Texas out on the scoreboard?
Oh, yeah. Cole Hamels on the hill. Gotta love this time of the year. Here's the 2-1 pitch. Ground ball. First base. Easy play. Easy play for Eric Kratz. And he made the play a little bit more difficult, but nonetheless. During the 2015 season, Turkey Hill, the official ice cream of the Phillies, will contribute $100 for each Phillies victory, 5 cents for each carton of Phillies Grand Slam ice cream sold to support the Phillies youth baseball and softball programs. There are the folks serving up the Turkey Hill. So 2 outs, and Miguel Rojas is the batter. Kratzy down there playing first base today. And, only the second time he started at first base in his major league career, the last one being a week ago.
Really? I wonder what the reasoning for that was. Just to get him some at-bats?
Get him some at-bats. They wanted to take, make him a little bit more versatile. He's all for it, as that one has popped up. Freddie Galvis behind third base makes the catch. And an easy 1-2-3 inning for David Buchanan. So we'll head to the bottom of the second inning. The Marlins still have a 1-0 lead. Tickets, full and partial ticket plans are now available. You get guaranteed location, special season ticket holder only benefits. Deposits are now being accepted for new season tickets. You can call 215-463-5000 or visit Phillies.com for more information. Best seat in the house out there in Ashburn Alley. And their schedule magnets in hand that everyone received when they came in through the gates today. 2016 schedule. We go to the bottom of the second. Darren Ruff will lead it off for the Phillies. First pitch swinging, line drive in the left field, and that's the first hit for the Phillies. Ruff will round first and throw down the anchor right there. So it's a base hit to start off the second inning for Darren Ruff. And it's time now for our McDonald's contestant.
Today's lucky contestant in McDonald's home run jackpot is Gary Fallows from Millville, New Jersey. If a Philly hits a home run today, Gary will win $100. Good luck.
Well, thank you, Frank. Franco Buena, who's our graphics operator here in the truck. Nice job again delivering McDonald's home run jackpot contestant. Good luck to Mr. Gallows as well.
I thought you would have had Ben call in and say good luck or send a selfie in or something.
He was here earlier. He could have done it. Ruff leads off first, and Jeff Francoeur is the batter, and the count is even at 1-1 to Jeff Francoeur.
I was just about to say Darren Ruff.
Base hit.
Too late.
And he's got a double, and we got the promo on, and we're 3 pitches into Francoeur. We'll have to talk about Darren a little later in this game.
We'll get another chance, I think. 1-1 pitch to Francoeur, swing and a miss. It's 1-2.
Back on Francoeur, you know, I mentioned him as a candidate to talk about in the pregame. He was this year the best pinch hitter in baseball, at least in the National League.
Swings through that one, and then he's a strikeout victim right here. But you're right, he has been real good for the Phils.
And it seems like in this game so far, every time I mention his game, something bad mentions his name, something bad happens.
Well, don't mention mine, Mike. All right. Well, for more on Jeff Francoeur and Andres Blanco, let's send it down to Leslie Goodell. Leslie?
Well, the good news is no matter what Mike has to say today, it's not going to take away from the great season Jeff has had and the impact he has made, as well as Andres Blanco. 2 players who have made such an impact on Pete Mackanin and been so helpful for him in helping the youth along in that clubhouse. And both of them are free agents at the end of the season. And Mackanin has made no bones about the fact that he would love to have them back. And both players have expressed great interest in coming back. In fact, Andres Blanco is very anxious to return if given the opportunity. He said that having the role as a teacher to these young players has been something that he's truly enjoyed. And he said, you know what, this team extended a hand to me when I didn't have one, and that's really important to me. For Jeff Francoeur, it's going to be probably a little bit more complicated because he's had such a great year. There are going to be people that are going to be after him, but he said that one of the reasons he'd really like to come back here is to play for Pete, and he loves what they've done. Both said the pitching, it makes the difference, and both are excited about what they've seen with Aaron Nola and Jared Eichhoff this year. So I think we're in for hopefully a good run right now for these guys coming back to the Phillies next year.
Well, it'll be interesting, and certainly some of the first pieces of business the Phillies will try to take care of. 4-6-3 is the put out for the double play. We're headed to the third. Question, log on to Phillies.com, go to the fans section for all the information, and please submit your answer on the subject line. The question is, who holds the Phillies record for most pinch hits in one season by a rookie? A lot of qualifiers. That answer will be revealed later in the game.
By a rookie.
By a rookie.
I didn't know they kept count of that.
They keep count of everything.
Do we have a time frame?
I'll tell you that it was in my lifetime. How's that?
Yeah, see.
Adam Conley is the batter. Already 0-1. 0-2 on Adam Conley. It was very early in my lifetime. I wouldn't remember it.
Mike, it's all up to you, buddy.
Pinch hits.
That's a tough one.
For
from
rookies.
a rookie.
Conversation between Eric Kratz and David Buchanan.
That's right. You have a lot of coaches on the field today. Kratz, catcher at first. Rupp, catcher at catcher.
Ball sails inside, so it's 1-2 now to Conley. It'll be Conley, then top of the order for the Marlins. D. Gordon, Christian Yelich. 1-2 pitch, swing and a miss, and he got him. Second strikeout for David Buchanan, and the first out here in the third. Well, Tuesday night, don't miss the debut of Sixers first-round pick Jahlil Okafor. Watch the 76ers tip off against the Wizards in preseason action. It's total coverage starting Tuesday night at 7, only on Comcast Sportsnet.
All right, is there anything you want to say about D. Gordon?
Say it quick. The man can hit.
The man can hit.
You ever looked at a picture of his father? And, of course, his father played when they had the long pants, too, right?
Yeah. And he swings and puts a jolt into that one. Going back on it is Francoeur, and that ball is gone. A home run for D. Gordon, his 4th of the season, and the Marlins take a 2-0 lead.
There went the batting title.
Unbelievable. You didn't expect that out of D. Gordon. Base hits, yeah, but not the power.
How about that? And, you see everything in this game, don't you? 2 pitches, a double that almost goes out, and a home run. Against the wind.
Yeah, we were just talking about how that wind coming in from right field was going to make it difficult for any ball to leave the park. That was no doubt about it.
That's a good spot, though. That's the lefty's happy zone down and in. Just dropped the barrel. That ball was hit that was hit well.
And you see the updated numbers. So now D. Gordon batting .333. .333 on the season. Yelich swings through that one. 0-2 now to Christian Yelich.
This guy went 8 for 9 yesterday, right?
Yeah.
With a walk.
The 0-2 pitch. Just outside for a ball. It's 1-2.
We did the WB Mason deliveries of the game, and Jeff, our main man down the truck, had a great graphic up of all 8 hits synchronized at the exact same time.
Wow.
It's pretty sweet.
That one trickles foul.
That's what right there.
There it is.
All synchronized at the exact same time. Point of contact. Only one swing that looked different was the bottom, two on the bottom.
Ground ball, second base. Blanco stays down on it. Over to Kratz for the second out of the inning.
Yeah, I want to look at this Gordon home run again. I just want to show you right here how simple it is to hit a home run. No, seriously, this young man just drops the head of the bat on the ball. No extra energy. No, I'm going to hit it a mile on balance. Just threw the head down. I mean, just threw the bat head down at the ball. He didn't hit a line drive, but he just hit a fly ball right through the wind. Right through the wind. Maikel Franco hit this, crushed the ball to right center, and it didn't go out. He just dropped the head right through the wind and out.
Marcelo Ozuna now steps in. He flew out to center field, deep center field in his first at bat.
Back to that point, Matty. Wouldn't you think that simple, easy, compact, balanced swing would work for a hitter like Cody, Darren? I mean, Odubel has proved several times this year what he can do with the bat with 2 strikes by just flipping it.
Right, and I think that's the reason why we've talked about less is more. The easier you swing, the proper technique, drop the barrel. Left-handers use that top hand. It's amazing how the ball will jump off the barrel. I mean, how many times have you hit a home run in your career and go, man, I barely swung at that ball? Nothing, just flew out of the ballpark.
3-1 pitch, a little bit low For a ball, he walks him. So Ozuna's a 2-out base runner here in the third.
So much wasted energy in our game. So much wasted energy by hitters. Pitchers, you know, I'm sure that the same thing goes for pitchers. You waste energy trying to I don't know, accelerate the process, trying to add something to it, trying to produce more power with energy. Less energy is actually more energy.
Moore steps in and takes that first pitch inside for a ball. He was safe on the error by Jeff Francoeur in the first inning that allowed the run to score. 0 for 1 on the afternoon is Justin Bour. Ozuna takes his lead off first. Inside as well. It's 2-0.
You know, I think if we look down in the history of the game and you look at some home run hitters, Ken Griffey Jr. was one of those swings that was the exact same swing every time. He didn't have that little extra oomph at the end of the swing. He relied on his power and his bat speed.
Blanco charges it. He's going to make the throw over to first. And he does it. 4-3 goes the put out. And the Phils are out at the top of the third inning, but not before the Marlins are able to add another one on the home run by D. Gordon. Head to the bottom of the third. They trail by 2.
All we do. Call 1-800-JEFF-NOW or visit jefferson.edu and buy your Delaware Valley Honda dealer. Hurry into your local Delaware Valley Honda dealer or visit delvalhondadealers.com.
I think we need to get a little bit more emotion into that delivery.
That was a strong finish by Jimmy Solomay, though. Thank you very much, Jimmy. He does just about everything for us here. He's our Andres Blanco. He's our utility guy. Some changes for the Marlins. We'll get to them in just a second. First ground ball by Kratz, picked up by Rojas. 6-3 goes the put out to start the third.
You better get him in quick.
New right fielder for the Marlins is Ichiro Suzuki. And Marcell Ozuna is moving over from right field into center field. And the afternoon is done for Christian Yelich. So we've seen the end of Christian Yelich.
So he could finish his career or finish his year on a 300 batting average.
There you go. You like that?
Depends on who you. Do I like it? I couldn't care. What's the difference, 298 or 300? I know it's nice to see 300.
The batter is Cameron Rupp.
What are the odds of Ichiro Suzuki coming in as an extra player in the last season of a meaningless ball game? One of the
greats,
arguably greatest hitters in the history of baseball, right?
Absolutely. No doubt.
And he's a caddy today.
Right. Wouldn't you at least maybe start him in the game and
just out of respect?
Yeah. How about bringing him out in the 5th inning or something to applause or something like that?
Well, he's kind of been a backup player for them all season long, but the point is well taken. It's something that needs to be considered.
Let me just ask you a personal question. What's his salary level? You got any idea?
What does Ichiro make?
Yeah.
I don't know. We
Something
certainly
crazy
could find out.
Or
No,
do
I
we know
don't
anybody
think
in
so.
here that could find that out?
Absolutely. I know my good friend Carl Graber can figure that out. Ground ball to shortstop. Rojas across the diamond for the second out of the inning. 6-3 again, goes to put out. First two batters grounding out to Rojas at shortstop. And that'll bring up the pitcher, David Buchanan. It's now time for you to tweet your strongest fan photo. Use hashtag PhillyPhoto DataStrongFan. You just might see yourself in an upcoming broadcast. It's all brought to you by T-Mobile. So David Buchanan steps in.
He's a good hitter.
He sure is. That's base hit back up the middle. So Buchanan,
I was going to say that. Well, he was standing there because I made a mental note that David Buchanan's got a good swing. You know, I mean, I'll never forget. I can go back to, what was it, April maybe. We're playing the Mets and Harvey's pitch.
Yep.
Remember that?
Yeah.
He lines that fast. Look at that swing. Level. He lines that fastball. Boom! Look at that swing.
And he doubled
Show
up the
these
bat
swings to our hitters.
Well, that'll bring up the top of the order, and Freddie Galvis. He flew out to center field his first at bat. Takes that one a bit high for a ball. It's 1-0.
Ichiro's salary in 2015 is for $2 million.
There you go. Pitch inside for a ball. 2-0. I think he'll get another chance next year. I think someone's going to sign him.
Ichiro?
Yeah.
I would love to see the Seattle Mariners sign him.
That would not shock me. It would be a perfect way to celebrate his career for the Mariners as Galvis turns on that one. Going back on it is Dietrich, and the wind's going to get a piece of that. He'll catch it at the front edge of the warning track. So Galvis put a little bit of a charge in that one, but not enough. And we are through 3 innings. And the Marlins have a 2-0 lead. Amazing low prices delivered free the very same day when you order by 11:30. WB Mason knocks it out of the park. Who but WB? And we start the top of the 4th. David Buchanan back out on the hill. We'll face Derek Dietrich to lead it off for the Marlins. Marlins with a 2-0 lead. D. Gordon has scored both runs for the Marlins. He led off the game with a double and scored on an error, and then a solo shot in the 3rd inning, and that's where we stand. Dietrich digs in. First pitch is swing and a miss. It's 0-1 to Derek Dietrich. Inside for a ball, 1-1. Dietrich struck out his first at bat. One of 3 strikeouts for David Buchanan on the afternoon. The 1-1 pitch. Inside and low for a ball, 2-1.
Just thinking about, you mentioned Harper earlier, D. Gordon, MVP race.
Base hit center field for Dietrich.
Yeah, squared that ball up nice right by Blanco.
Cubs and Brewers. There you see the score. Bottom of the second, 3-0. The Cubs still fighting for playoff position as well.
But we have Harper, Arenado, Goldschmidt. Who else you got in the MVP race?
Arenado from
Arenado, right?
Yeah, I'd put D. Gordon in
He's
the mix.
strong.
So you said you had him on.
Yeah, I think those are your four. And then if you want to throw pitchers in there, Zach Greinke maybe.
No, we don't throw pitchers.
Of course not. I'm talking to two hitters here. That was a dumb
We're talking
statement.
about real athletes here.
Well, unfortunately, though, what was it, 2 years ago?
Yeah.
When
Kershaw
won MVP on Cy Young?
Was it 2 years ago or was it last season?
But who do you think legitimately had the best year?
I would say Bryce Harper.
331 batting average.
48 home runs.
124 plus walks as of yesterday, I think.
Yeah, his numbers are pretty ridiculous. Sales outside.
Well, I mean, check out Arenado's.
Yeah. No, you're
42
right.
and 130. How about that? 42 and 130.
Yeah, Bryce Harper's hitting 330 with 42 home runs, 99 RBIs.
Right. If he doesn't get 100 RBIs, can he win the MVP award?
Well, I mean, Arenado's hitting 287, 42, and 130.
That's
an incredible year.
Yeah, it is. But I would ask you, what is Bryce Harper hitting with runners in scoring position? I guarantee it's pretty high. I think it's more a product of the guys in front of him not getting on base for Bryce Harper.
Well, if he's hitting pretty high with runners in scoring position, only has 99.
He's not getting those opportunities like Arenado is. Nice play by Blanco. Double play. 4-6-3.
Or is he not hitting as well with runners in scoring position?
Well, that's what I'm saying. I would look at those numbers.
Somebody could find that out for us.
I'm sure we could.
We need information here today.
So we'll get Carl Gerber a towel and Band-Aids for his fingers.
And a bib.
2 outs. That'll bring up Tomas Talis. Grounded out to Eric Kratz at first base in his first at bat. Takes that first pitch outside. Well, who do you think is the National League MVP? He's thinking.
It's a tough one.
It is a tough one.
It's really a tough one.
Grounded foul past the third base bag.
Look, okay, Mike, as you're thinking, I'm saying Bryce Harper. Bryce Harper, second in the league in hitting, 42 home runs, 99 stakes. His on-base percentage is .462. His OPS is 1.1.
Yeah, that's high.
That's extremely high.
Well, we're going to get Mike's thoughts.
All right, let me think about this.
Yeah, you're going to think about it. We're going to head to the bottom of the fourth with the Phillies trailing by 2.
Double the lovin' at McDonald's with a double cheeseburger and small fry, just $2.50. McDonald's, I'm loving it.
And by Chevrolet. Visit your local dealer at ChevyDealer.com.
There are two professional voices right there. Thank you, Brian and Steve. Well done. One of our audio engineers and our truck engineer as well. Steve Summers and Brian Donovan. Nice job living our billboards, as our entire crew has been doing all week long. An excellent job. Adam Conley back out on the mound for the Miami Marlins. And Aaron Altherr will be the batter for the Phils. All through the break. Matt and Mike have been trying to figure out who the National League MVP will be. Carl got you the information you're looking for, so take that into consideration as that first pitch is over the outside corner for a strike.
Well, man, Bryce Harper was hitting .256 with runners in scoring position with 2 home runs and 11 RBIs.
Sails outside. Well, that's not all that good.
Does that sound right?
No, that doesn't sound right.
With 2 outs.
Oh, with 2 outs. Oh, here's the rest of it.
Oh, never got the other cheat sheet.
Yeah. Foul straight back. It's 1-2.
301 all told. Well, I'm an RBI guy.
Ground ball. Bohr makes a nice play. He's going to take it himself. And an unassisted put out down there at first base for the first out here in the 4th inning. And with that, we talked about it being Fan Appreciation Day. Well, why not meet one of our fans? Leslie Goodell, you have a good story.
I certainly do. Danny DeLisi has been coming to Phillies games since 1981, but he became a full-time season ticket holder in 2009. He started in Section 309. He's now in 210. He said that was the first year he could get a full season and that his job would allow it. The special thing about Danny is he's been to every home game, and he drives from New York. He lives in Staten Island. He works in Brooklyn for the New York City Transit Authority. And if he's coming from work, which is what he's usually doing, he's driving all the way in from Brooklyn to attend the games. And he comes down by himself and enjoys every part of it. He said he loves what he sees in Ken Giles and Michael Franco. He likes Nola and Eichhoff, of course, and loves the youth movement. And he just, his parents are Mets fans, so he doesn't have a lot of company when he comes down here. But he is a diehard fan, and he certainly deserves some thanks and appreciation for being at all these games.
Wow, absolutely. And nice work finding him, Leslie Goodell. And, man, driving down from New York City 81 times. Tip of the cap to him. For sure.
For sure.
That's a fan. Since 1981, he's watching you guys. Both of you guys.
All right, Mike, so you're an RBI guy.
Yes, I'm an RBI guy, so I'm a Nolan Arenado MVP
supporter,
voter. He's got 20 more RBIs than the closest guy, Goldschmidt. Correct?
Yep, 22.
Yeah, and he's a Gold Glove third baseman, skill position player. 42 home runs. 42, right?
Yep. 43 doubles.
I don't know. I just think the disparity in RBIs and all other things included is just too much.
Off the hands, that one's going to fall into no man's land. So base hit for Franco as 3 Marlins converge on it. And no one could get there. Couldn't place it any better out there in shallow left center field. It's a base hit for Franco with 1 out here in the 4th.
Well, that makes up for that home run into the wind that was caught in right field, right?
Big swing.
Small hit.
Yeah. Big hang, small hit, smart hitting. Good placement. Good photo finish right there.
Right in the middle of the triangle. So he's aboard with 1 out in the bottom of the 4th. Darren Ruff is the batter. We've got a timeout on the field.
Oh, is it a bird or something?
What is that? I can't tell what that is. Unfortunately, that's a dead bird out on the field.
How do you get a dead bird on the field? He just...
I don't know. He just kind of appeared there.
Just drops out of the air?
Well, not exactly sure how it ended up there, but it is there. So they're going to take a minute to get that cleaned up.
Darren Ruff. Jeez, I come up to the plate and a dead bird lands on the field.
Well, we wanted to talk about Darren.
Now
earlier.
we got a
Now
chance.
we have a chance.
There you go.
Unfortunately, it comes at the expenses of a bird.
Give me some good Darren Ruff information. I think it's been great. He's one of his assets is his lightheartedness. You and I both think he needs more fire as a player. One of the elements as they lay. Never mind. I won't talk about the bird, but I find that his lack of fire costs him a lot of pitches to hit at home plate. He takes a lot of first pitches. He has I bet you he has more 0-2 counts than any player on our team.
I would agree.
And I don't think that's good.
Can you fix that?
You just become more aggressive.
Well, I mean, but can you instill that in somebody?
Yes and no. You know, Mike. You made a great point earlier about that shoulder. What you'd like to see on Darren's swing. And I found it very interesting. What you were talking about was, having that little coil with the upper body.
Well, can we talk on that while we're on camera?
Yes, you can.
Yep. I mean, it's one of those things and you were talking about what you'd like to see is.
Well, I'll show you real quick. You get a little view of it here when you're watching Darren on the TV. He starts slightly open with his shoulder, and he really never gets in here. In other words, he really never gets what I call a cock. He never gets loaded into here, so he can explode out here. Boom! Everything works kind of from the middle of the plate to the left. Does that make sense?
Absolutely. No, and I would agree.
You can't see it from this angle right here, but if we can get a front view of him, and I think he's got great balance. I think his tempo's good, pretty good eye. I just don't think he uses the middle of the field in right center field enough. It's so close for him. D. Gordon just wristed a ball out of right field. I mean, it's just it should play so small for him.
Certainly strong.
I'm not
enough.
saying it's easy.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong, but between he and Cody, we have just got to link on to something.
2 pitches inside.
You see that?
3-2 now.
He doesn't do what Matt's a golfer. You're a golfer. In golf, we talk about covering the ball. In other words, you cover the ball with your front shoulder. Darren doesn't cover the ball enough. So sort of like have his upper body covering the ball through contact.
3-2 pitch. Low and outside for a ball. So he walks.
Yeah.
So good at bat. That's good by Darren Ruff there.
Good at bat, and Smitty, I mean, you hit that right on the head. And the big thing about watching hitters, if they have the proper coil of getting in that loaded position of hitting, is when they're about to swing, it looks like someone's pulling their jersey. Does it look like someone's pulling the front jersey and pulling them out away from the home plate, which means you're not getting that proper going in technique of staying in there strong and being in that power position. And that's great. I'm noticing that on him, and hopefully he goes in and realizes that that's where he's going to be able to generate more power.
And that one is fisted over towards the shortstop, and Rojas able to backpedal and make the catch for the second out. So Frank Core jammed on that one. 2 guys on. Out of town scoreboard from Toyota. The Royals and the Twins are in the top of the third. The Twins were already eliminated from postseason play. The Royals still looking for that home field advantage throughout the playoffs. Take a look. 94-67 for the Royals. The Blue Jays with 1 game to play. They could catch them, but if the Royals win that, they will have home field advantage throughout the playoffs.
Yeah, but it's not looking very good for the Blue Jays today.
Nope.
Down 9-0 after the first.
Well, that's going to be a tough hill to climb. Yeah.
8 unearned runs.
Who's error? Or is it a couple?
Well, that's a good question. I know Mark Burley started.
Well, it's 1-0 to Andres Blanco. 2 guys on. Runners at first and second. Franco singled. Darren Ruff walked. He's trying to break through on the scoreboard here. And it's a line drive down the left field line, and they're going to do just that. Franco rounds third, and he'll come in to score. And that'll be a double for Andres Blanco, an RBI double. And the Phillies are indeed on the board. It's 2-1.
Well, that's good to see. Yeah, I love Whitey. Very studious, very mature young man. I just, just sucks up information. Great stroke, has had a great year, has really placed himself in high esteem with, the team. I sure hope he sticks around here next year. He's just a joy to have around. He and Francoeur.
Agreed. That's his 22nd double of the season, and that is in a limited role. I mean, 22 doubles is pretty impressive regardless, and he's doing that in what has been mostly a part-time role. His first pitch swinging is Eric Kratz, and he pops it up to right field. Ichiro Suzuki makes the catch, and that's the third out of the inning. But despite leaving 2 on there in scoring position, the Phillies able to break through and cut the lead in half. We head to the top of the 5th, and the Marlins have a 2-1 lead. Question answer, we asked you guys who holds the Phillies record for most pinch hits in one season by a rookie, and gave you a hint that it was in the early 70s.
Early 70s.
Yeah.
Before my time.
Okay.
Well, Montañez.
That's a good guess.
Thank you. That's my guess.
Matt, you going to venture a guess?
I agreed with them.
Well, the answer is Mike Rogozinski.
Oh,
yeah.
Rogo.
Yeah, he had 16 pinch hits as a rookie in 1973.
Wow.
That was a very difficult question.
Yes, it was.
First out recorded here in the top of the 5th inning. Miguel Rojas, ground ball. 4-3 goes to put out.
Who owns the record, by the way?
Phillies franchise record for pinch hits?
Greg Gross.
That's who I would have said.
Greg Dobbs, isn't it?
Greg Dobbs, perhaps,
Dobbs
right?
Could be, yeah.
He had 28 in 08.
Del Unser. Did he break the record in 08?
He's got the record for the biggest and most important ones, that's for sure.
It always seemed to come through. That one is fouled out of play. Adam Conley, there you see his numbers. He's 0 for 1 today with a strikeout. 4 hits, though, in his short time up in the big leagues. Ground ball. Galvis has it. And across the diamond.
Oh, good recovery.
Yeah, he bobbled that a bit.
Yeah, ball rolled up. Ball rolled up his leg and he pinned it on his belt. You got to be relaxed to do that.
Whatever works. Yeah, take another look.
It's almost like the little in-between hop.
Oh, jumped up on his hand. That could have been a...
How about that?
Right in his armpit. But we've talked about the whole year. He does not panic on defense.
No, not at all.
Never a doubt for him. Well, that'll bring up D. Gordon. He has done the damage today for the Marlins. He doubled in the first and scored, and then hit a solo home run in the third. 2 for 2. Takes that one
He
inside
took
for a ball.
the first pitch.
Yeah. He wants to have a chance to talk about him a little bit more, I guess. There you see it, .333 batting average, tops in the National League. Spurs around and pulls it back. It's 2-0. Inside for a ball, 3-0 now to D. Gordon.
You know, he doesn't need to get a hit. He just needs not to make an out.
So he'd be very happy with the take.
He'll take the walk. That one's over for a strike. It's 3-1 now to D. Gordon.
Automatic take sign. Bryce Harper is 0 for 2, by the way, hitting .329.
And that is a line shot past Eric Kratz and into right field for a base hit. Well, I think that's going to do it. 3 for 3 is D. Gordon. I think you're looking at your National League batting champion.
I think the news is down to Washington. They playing in Washington, Harper?
They're playing in New York.
Yeah.
In New York. I think they have that news up there on the scoreboard right now.
Yeah, this was a rocket.
Well, this is the exact same swing as a home run. He just didn't elevate it.
Exactly.
Same 3 pitches, same location.
The ball's actually shin high.
And now he's a triple away from the cycle.
Now he's got to stay in the game.
I think he could stay in the game and not even have to worry about losing the crown at this point. His average jumps up to .334, 5 points above Bryce Harper. That'll bring up Ichiro Suzuki. His first at bat. He entered the game in the 3rd inning. Throw over to chase D. Gordon back. A little bit high. Kratz pulls it down. Gordon takes his lead and puts a pitch out. Nothing doing, so it's 1-1 to Suzuki. Ichiro Suzuki batting .230 on the season. We were talking about him getting another chance next year. So he fouls that one off the plate.
Right off his foot again.
Right off the toe.
You don't see that very often, fouling a ball off your front foot and coming back towards behind home plate as far as it did. Oof.
Yeah, maybe
that was ankle.
Maybe his ankle, yeah. That's smart. So it's 1-2 now to Ichiro Suzuki. You mentioned Matt Seattle, perhaps bringing him back on a 1-year deal. He's about 62 hits away from 3,000. I think it would be a tremendous idea for so many reasons.
And it'd be interesting to see if he would have in his contract that sign a 1-year deal. If he does break the record, then he retires right at the time.
It'd be pretty cool for baseball for sure. Throw over. Gordon is back. It's inside for a ball. It's 2-2 now to Ichiro. 2 outs, top of the 5th. The Marlins with a 2-1 lead. Two pitch. Swing and a miss, and he got him. Nice pitch from David Buchanan, his 5th strikeout of the afternoon, and he gets Ichiro swinging to end the 5th inning. So they leave 1 on after a hit in that inning. We head to the bottom of the 5th. Marlins lead by 1. MLB.com at bat, the #1 app for live baseball. You can enjoy live look-ins, highlights, replay reviews, scores, StatCast, live radio broadcasts, and so much more. Get the MLB.com at bat app right now. And we head to the bottom of the 5th. Cameron Rupp will lead it off for the Phillies against the left-hander Adam Conley, who's done a nice job so far against the Phils. Cameron grounded out to shortstop in his first at bat, and he pops that one foul.
Interesting hitter for me here, Matt, for sure. I think we've talked about him many times this year. I mean, he's surely come a long way as a player, and he's surely in our plans for next year. But he's got a great base. He's got a good tempo. Just cannot refine a level pass. You know what I mean? Like, the ball just gets on top of his bat too much.
Yep, I would agree. And I agree 100%. I think his balance is tremendous. He's strong as an ox. But I think he gets in pull mode a little bit too much.
He grounds out to Conley for the first out of the inning. Well, guys, all season long, in order to get a broadcast up and going, you guys know how many people it takes. And it takes guys like this guy, Ryan Hill, who is our intern all season long. We want to say thank you. We know you're finishing up today, obviously, and graduating from Kutztown University in May.
Congratulations. Thank you, sir.
Thank you for all your help this year, and best of luck to you as you continue on in your career. Hopefully you've met some pretty good people down there in the truck, made some contacts. That's what it's all about.
Thanks for putting up with us.
Base hit by David Buchanan. He's got 2 hits on the day, and he is 2 for 2 as David Buchanan. Thank you, Ryan. Good to see you. And he is a 1-out base runner here in the 5th.
I mean,
kick and hit.
Oh, golly.
He is a terrific
Watch
athlete.
this swing from the side. Here's a replay. Now watch how level, short, quick, and down this is. Boom. See that? Hold on with 2 hands. Compact.
Forget it, son. Bye, you already at shortstop. No chance. Missile.
Well, that'll bring up Freddie Galvis. First pitch to Galvis is fouled back. You know, David is a terrific athlete. He was a all-state kind of guy in a couple different sports in high school. He's a terrific golfer. He doesn't play that often. He gets out there and he shoots in the low 70s when he does get out there, and he just solid eye-hand coordination for sure. Showing it right there. And Galvis swings through that one. It's 0-2. That is his first career 2-hit game for David Buchanan. Here's the 0-2 pitch to Galvis. Pop down the right field line. Giving chase is Suzuki. And it's out of play. Suzuki runs out of room. Souvenir for a fan. So it remains 0-2 to Freddie Galvis.
And Freddie wants so bad to swing like David Buchanan, but just for some reason it's concentration somewhere. If you said, Freddie, put this ball on the line or on the ground 4 times today, he should be able to do that. Right?
Yep, he should.
And it's what he was doing early. Well, he was doing it in spring training, what he was doing early in the season as well, when he was having so much success, right? He was kind of keeping the ball on the ground, hitting line drives.
Yeah, he was almost like he was playing a game of pepper. Nice, easy swing, making solid contact.
0-2 pitch. Outside for a ball.
But then it also comes back to where you start off to a very good start the first of the year. You start seeing a lot of different pitches. You're starting to see fastball counts. You're seeing off speed. Instead of a 2-0 fastball, you're getting a 2-0 changeup. Comes down to pitch selections.
It's fouled off again.
I think it has a lot to do with, and this may sound crazy and just coming out of my mouth and brain, something like clarity of thought. In other words, knowing yourself as a hitter and knowing a way to get back to it. Get out of the ball.
It's a good swing on that one, but it'll hang up. And Ozuna makes the catch out there in center field for the second out.
You know what I mean? Like for Freddie, that he's not just a hitter. He's not a DH. He's not a left fielder, right fielder. He plays shortstop. He's the captain of the infield. As we talked about in the opening, there's a lot going on in his mind. A lot of responsibility, and to refine that approach to hitting down to each pitch being very, very important. Like each pitch, each at bat. That's what cleans up your stat line. We were talking about that in the clubhouse earlier this morning, that you have to be responsible for what that stat line has on it. I told him at the end of the year, like tomorrow, pull up your stat line and look at it and see where all the junk is in there, that you need to get out. You can't clear it all out. Obviously, the game's too hard for that. But
right.
if you can concentrate and figure out what a temperament as a hitter and a player to increase your concentration levels, that helps.
Inside for a ball. It's 2-1 to Aaron Altair.
All while at the same time having fun.
Yeah. Yeah.
I never did that. I never had fun.
Me either.
All I did was have fun, but I didn't play big league ball like you guys. But Freddie's a young player. I mean, won't that come a little bit with maturity and with age?
No question. Well, this was his first full year. Keep that in mind.
David Buchanan off and running as that one's popped up over the first base bag. Justin Bohr going back. He's unable to make the catch. It trickles into foul territory. Here comes David Buchanan. The front of the plate. Not in time. David Buchanan gets his hand in there and scores from first base on a pop-up just over the first base bag. What great base running by your pitcher, David Buchanan.
Was there any chance that was a hit and run? No, 2 outs.
Actually,
no, but they were giving him the base.
It was a run and hit. David Buchanan actually was trying to steal second base. I don't mind playing behind a first base, a pitcher at first, but a first baseman has to stay right on top of you and kind of give you that clap of the glove and knowing that the presence is right there. David Buchanan was taken off all the way from first base, off the palm. As you see him right here taking off, great jump. Kicks it in right here, realizes that he bobbled it. Now he kicks it in.
Well, that was some pretty good base running, and when he did kick it in, able to score on that, and that Phil's tied up. It's 2-2. Scored an RBI double for Aaron Altair.
That's right. Brings some life to the ballpark. Yeah. RBI double. Tie ball game.
Now Maikel Franco is up there with a runner in scoring position. Takes that one a bit low, so it's 2-0. Take a look at the slide.
Take the reaction.
That'll give you a little highlight piece right there.
Love it. So Altair leads off second. 2-0 pitch to Franco is over for a strike. It's 2-1. 1 for 2. It's Franco on the day. Scored a run back in the 4th inning as well. Base hit would give the Phils the lead. Swings through that. It's 2-2. Two balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. It's inside, so the count is full to Maikel Franco. Going out to have a little conversation with Conley is Talise. With the count full, runner on second base, 2 outs, bottom of the 5th, and it's a brand new ball game. 2-2 is the score. Darren Ruff waits on deck. Blue skies over Citizens Bank Park for the first time in quite some time. On the final game of the season in 2015. Here's the 3-2 pitch. Swung on, right field. Going back on it is Ichiro, and he'll make the catch in front of the warning track. So that's the final out of the inning. But Phil's able to put another run on the board, and they tie it up at 2 as we head to the 6th.
finishing the season with plenty of confidence heading toward 2016 and his future as the Phillies closer. Ken Giles entered the current campaign with aspirations of solidifying a late-inning role in the Phillies bullpen. Since the trade deadline and getting the call to shut the door on a daily basis, 100-mile Giles has slammed it shut with an ERA of 0.40 and only one blemish in his save opportunities entering the final week. The closer spot is filled for the immediate future, and it's brought to you by Independence Blue Cross. Live fearless.
Well, hopefully we'll get a chance to see Kenny Giles this afternoon. Closing out the game 162 is David Buchanan working from the lineup. First pitch to Marcell Ozuna here in the 6th inning is over for a strike. Side for a ball. It's 1-1 to Ozuna, who's 0-1 on the afternoon. Line drive, foul. So 1-2 to Marcell Ozuna. Well, as promised earlier in the game, we've selected the Data Strong fan photo of the game, and today's photo comes from Andrew Shrevbeck, and it's for Mike Schmidt. There you go. Look at that. Got Mike, statue. He's got your shirt on as well, your jersey on, and that is a winning photo indeed. As Ozuna strikes out, we remind you, well, I guess next year you can tweet your strongest fan photo to hashtag Philly Photo Data Strong Fan, and you just might see yourself in an upcoming broadcast in 2016. It's all brought to you by the good folks at T-Mobile. Another strikeout for David Buchanan. Not a bad photo, huh, Mike?
No.
Yeah.
Just counting up these strikeouts. David Buchanan having a respectable day.
Nice to see him
2
finish.
knocks, 6 strikeouts.
Run scored. Justin Bour is the batter. He swings through that one. Safe on an error, ground out. 0 for 2 is Bour. Outside, it's 1-1. You know, Mike, you talked in the first inning about what happened to David Buchanan. You know, coming out of spring, he was arguably the best pitcher on the team.
No question.
Certainly Cole Hamels is always in that category, but he was pitching the best coming out of spring training. And as soon as the season started to struggle. And I think, Matt, we've talked about this. We've talked about it with David. He started to question himself, and confidence at this level, as that one is grounded to second. 4-3 goes to put out. It's such a big thing, and it seemed to pile up on David to a point where it was really affecting the way he was going out there to perform. But hopefully,
my only comment about that is, he should have been at a stage early in his career where he was ready to break out. Had a number of starts prior to last year. He was confident, in great shape. I used to sit on the exercise bike in the workout room, in the weight room there at the stadium, and just watch him go through a workout. And I've never seen a kid gain more confidence over an off season.
Yeah, he doesn't. It's an odd kind of balance. He certainly doesn't lack confidence. That one is grounded to the first baseman Eric Kratz. He touches it. Doesn't lack confidence, but he was having a crisis of confidence. It looked like midway through the season, but he went down and hopefully got things worked out. He's pitched well in the last couple of chances he's gotten here, and he's pitching well this afternoon as well. Toyota take you. Visit buyatoyota.com today to find out. Toyota, let's go places. By W.B. Mason, you can't go wrong when you buy right. And by the Quality Plus Ford stores. Go further. Leading it off here in the bottom of the sixth inning is Darren Ruff. For the Phils. Takes that first pitch a little bit low. Ruff is 1 for 1. Been on base 2 times. He swings through that.
We were talking about Darren in 0-2 counts a little while ago, and Carl gave us some numbers. He's 6th on the Phillies team in 0-2 counts, and he has about 250 at bats, something like that.
265.
265 at bats. So probably way down the line in terms of the numbers of at bats. Most, probably 75 of those has come in the last month, but. Project that to 550 at bats. That's a lot of 0-2 counts.
Yeah, well, he goes down swinging there. 4 pitches. He's the first out of the 6th inning. That'll bring up Jeff Francoeur. Francoeur 0 for 2 on the afternoon. First pitch to Francoeur is over for a strike. It's 0-1. Conley gets his sign. Here's the 0-1 pitch. Swung on and hit well. Center field, but it's going to stay in the ballpark. Ozuna's over. Yeah, and now Ozuna and Dietrich collide out there in right in center field. They'll have a discussion about it, but Ozuna makes the catch. And let's head it down to Leslie Goodell.
Thanks, Murph. You guys may remember the story in early August when 9-year-old Kaiser Carlisle died after he was accidentally hit by a bat during a game. He was a bat boy for the Liberal BJ's summer team in Liberal, Kansas. He was wearing a helmet, and he was struck by a player in the on-deck circle. And they're remembering him today by wearing black armbands. All the bat boys across the major leagues are. And just a sad story, but in his memory, they all have the KC bands on. They also have the first annual Kaiser Carlisle Memorial 5K run and walk in Liberal, Kansas in honor of this young boy. And a very sad turn of events, but we all learn something from these, and we can all take his memory and make something out of it. And so a special little boy was lost, but we will celebrate him today.
Yeah, Major League Baseball doing a nice job in remembering Kaiser, and you see Tucker, who has the armband on today for the Phillies. Terribly tragic story for sure. There's 2 outs here in the bottom of the 6th, and Andres Blanco pops that one straight up. Shallow center field. In comes Ozuna. He calls off everybody and makes the catch right behind the second base bag for the final out of the inning. So an easy inning for the Marlins. 1-2-3 go the Phils. We're still tied at 2. Time now for your Delaware Valley Honda Dealers game summary. And that was just a quick peek of what's happened this afternoon, guys, but it feels exactly like that. That's how fast this game seems to be going. D. Gordon, well, he continues to dazzle at the plate. A double and a home run. His single is 3 for 3. And he is in command of the National League batting title, as that one is fly out to right field. Jeff Francoeur makes the catch. We're all tied up at 2. And it is the game summary today as we head to the 7th inning, now with 1 out. And all locked up at 2. Some blue skies over Citizens Bank Park as we finish up the 2015 season. And David Buchanan out there on the mound doing a nice job as well.
Well, I remember Casey McGee as someone that extends at bats.
Not today. Casey McGee batting just .202 on the season coming in. And it was the Major League or the National League comeback player of the year a year ago, but has really struggled this season, bouncing around between 2 different teams, ending up here in Miami again. Tomas Talis is the batter, 0 for 2 today. Swings through that, and that is 1 and 2 now to Talis. And it shakes off Cameron Rupp. Gets the sign he's looking for. And here's the 1-2 pitch. Low and outside for a ball. It's 2 and 2.
Well, this might be the best game that David Buchanan has thrown this year with his changeup. His changeup has been very good. You saw it right there in front of home plate, tapped.
Galvis tries the bare hand. That was going to be a tough play regardless, but unable to handle it with the bare hand. So that'll probably be a base hit for Talis. It is scored a base hit. So 1 on with 1 out here in the 7th. Tough play for anyone that chopped right over David Buchanan's head.
Yeah, sorry, Mike.
No, go.
No, I mean, just I'll talk about the changeup. Very good changeup. Has the hitter up in front of it. You're the infielder.
Yeah, that was a tough one. The ball had a little bit of steam on it, kind of an in-between bare hand hop. That can go either way.
If he had tried to glove it, I don't think he throws Talis out. So first pitch is over for a strike. Curveball. It's 0-1 right now to Miguel Rojas.
I just find that David's delivery today, he's being able to repeat it almost every time. You know, at times when we saw him struggle early in the season, you know, his changeup might be 2 feet out of the zone. But it seems like today everything he throws changeup wise is this height right here, and it's usually either here or here where he wants it to be.
That one's a ground ball back up the middle for a base hit. So 2 runners on as Altair gets that quickly and gets it back in. Runners at first and second. It's a base hit for Rojas. That'll bring up the pitcher spot. And we're going to have a pinch hitter for Adam Conley. So his day is done.
It's a good note for Buchanan, too. If we get him out of this inning and finish 6, put him in a good frame of mind just to wrap up the season and go into the offseason.
Jeff Mathis is the pinch hitter for Miami. Yeah, you're right, guys. You know, looking back at his last couple of games, he went just 4 2/3 against the Mets, 5 innings against Miami his last start with them, and just 6 innings before that. Only allowed 2 runs, and 1 run in those games, but Pete Buchanan was quick to get him out of those games and kind of get him out what seemed like on a high note, but able to go deeper into this game, and still only the 2 runs on the board so far for Miami.
Yeah, in his last outing versus the Mets, his pitch count wasn't too bad. What'd you say, Murphy went 4 2/3?
4 2/3, yeah.
And they had a left-handed hitter, so they had brought in Lowen to get out of the inning. But I agree with Mike, is if he can get out there, get out of this inning, you know, and allow the runs he's allowed today and get out there and finish on a good note, for him, I think it's a little more positive offseason.
One's in the dirt. Nice play by Cameron Rupp to keep that one in front of him. Runners stay where they are. Runners at first and second with 1 out in the 7th inning.
Man, on the whole, I think the Marlins have some good young hitters. I mean, I'm assuming that their season went south with injuries to pitching staff, but man, you surely can't leave off Giancarlo.
Yeah.
What a difference that body in the lineup would make.
Yeah, Christian Yelich was a guy that was injured early and then started slow when he did get back, and as he got better, so did the Marlins record. Their outfield was pretty banged up. Marcell Ozuna again struggled early, was sent down to the minor leagues, came back, has played well since he's been back. And as you mentioned, Stanton missing the better part of the second half of the season. That guy's been good all season, D. Gordon.
Wasn't he up for a while earlier with
he was
with an injury as well?
Yeah. And so was Jose Fernandez, their number one pitcher. So Jeff Mathis swings through that one. It's 3-2 now to Mathis with runners on first and second.
It's mind-boggling how much injuries play a part in baseball.
Swing and a miss, and he got him. 7 strikeouts for David Buchanan. That's a new career high for him, and it comes at a big spot here in the 7th inning with runners on first and second. David Buchanan getting the pinch hitter Jeff Mathis to swing through that one.
Well, it's a very good two-seam. It's a late movement. Gets him to swing right over top of it. Started to enter third and came back into the corner. Nice pitch.
So, from a psychological standpoint here, if you were a manager, would you say it would be more beneficial to go out and say, how do you feel? I'm leaving you in. You're going to get this guy out, rather than go out and get another right-hander to come in and pitch to him? Well, what's the bottom line? Let him give up another knock to D. Gordon, or let him get D. Gordon out? He walked off the field and threw his hat in the crowd.
Good question. We'll talk about that when we return.
Of the 7th, we have a pitching change. David Buchanan with a nice outing. And here now we asked you to send in photos on Instagram, and as expected, the Phillies fans have delivered. Here's a look at a few from today. At Batman Bobby 2013, playing with the Fanatic, having some fun. And hey, look, Mom, I'm on camera. At Choate's Notes, great picture there. And who doesn't love the Fanatic hat? Kelsey Berry looking great in it. And then at Phillies Sports Girl 35, hanging with Harry. And so is this little one. How cute is she? This is today's winner at Bella No Sorry with Harry Callison. She wins a $100 Phillies gift card and a Phillies prize pack. What a great contest the Phillies ran on Instagram this season.
Some great photos indeed. Thank you, Leslie. 1-1 is the count to D. Gordon with runners on first and second. You see the NL batting race all but over. But the at-bat that counts is right now. as Luis Garcia is in to face D. Gordon. The count's 1-1, and that one's fouled off as well. So it's 1-2 now to D. Gordon. Garcia trying to come in and finish up this inning for David Buchanan, who had a very, very solid final start of the 2015 season. Runners lead off first and second. 2 outs and time is called.
Tell you what, he's a good-looking hitter. Good. I never realized he was this good of a hitter.
Here's the 2-2 pitch inside for a ball. 3-2. Ichiro Suzuki waits on deck. Count is 2-2 to D. Gordon. 2-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. He got him. So Luis Garcia comes in and gets the job done against the National League's best hitter. It gets a strikeout just when the Phillies needed it most. The Marlins leave 2 on, and the game remains tied as we head to the bottom of the 7th, all locked up at 2. Mountain Coffee K-Cup Pods. Great tasting coffee at amazing low prices, delivered free the very same day when you order by 11:30. WB Mason knocks it out of the park. Who but WB? There is the great Richie Ashburn out there in Ashburn Alley. Beautiful Sunday afternoon here in October. This is the way October weather should look like. This is what we've been waiting for. Yeah. And Andre Rienzo is the new pitcher for the Marlins, making making his 14th appearance this year. 0-0 record with an ERA of 4.12. Bottom of the 7th, we're all tied up at 2, and Odubel Herrera is going to get a chance to pinch hit. His numbers are good as a pinch hitter. 5 for 13, an RBI. Got a base hit last night as a pinch hitter as well. Game 2 of the Phillies doubleheader. And he'll get an opportunity right here to bat.
How about that little knock he got last night, pinch hitting?
Swing and bunt?
Yep.
Yeah. I mean, the last second, just dropped the head down and poked it down third base.
And the pitch was probably located about this far outside.
Yeah, he was able to get the job done. That's what they're looking for out of him right now. Big swing and a miss on the first pitch, and it's 0-1 to Odubel Herrera. So Herrera batting for Eric Kratz, and it'll be followed by Rupp. And the pitcher spot. That one goes back to the backstop inside, so it's 1-1 now to Odubel Herrera.
Matty, where do you like Odubel in the Phillies batting lineup?
I like him in the 2-hole. I think he has very good bat control. First hitter, I think he's a little more of a free swinger. I think if I see him in the future, I like him in the number 2 hole. Then again, I really like Cesar Hernandez in the 2 hole as well.
Here's the 2-1 pitch, and no swing, says the third base umpire Kerwin Danley. So it's 3-1 to Odubel Herrera.
Maybe Cesar Hernandez make a good leadoff hitter, being a switch hitter.
He could, but if he needs to work the count a little bit more. There's one thing I'd like to see Cesar do is take more pitches.
Swings at that one, and that one's going to slice foul into the seats. So it's 3-2 now to Odubel Herrera.
So Herrera's at 296. More than likely he'll stay in the game and play left field. And then Darren Ruff will just move to first.
Right.
Be nice to see if he can get a couple more knocks to hit that 300 mark.
It would be great. Sits at 296. And that's outside for a ball, so he walked him. So
no, I'm serious. I mean, I love that. I love that energy. I love that. You know.
Yep, I do too.
I watch that and I go, you know, it's a little Pete Rose right there. You know.
Yeah, I remember watching him in spring training and having that very conversation with one of the security guards down there at Bright House Field in Clearwater. When watching him go out and play, he said, he reminds me of Pete Rose a little bit with that kind of energy. And he's had that all season long, both in the dugout, out on the field, back in the clubhouse. It's fun to see.
Well, I know we talked about it a lot, but what a tremendous rookie season he has had. Rule 5 guy. No idea what you were going to get out of him in spring training.
Well, here's an at-bat. You know, you might even consider a bunt here if you want to really win the game.
Well, how about that?
Home run.
A big swing by Cameron Rupp. Going back on it is Dietrich at the track. That's going to hit the track and bounce up over the wall. It'll be a ground rule double for Cameron Rupp. So a big swing from Rupp. I do think that got caught up a little bit in the wind, and the one hops for a ground rule double.
Yeah, that was strange. He hit it like it didn't look like he really hit it good. And
just off the end of the bat?
Or is he watching it because he thought he hit it out? Because this ball bounces. How many balls do you see bounce on the warning track at this ballpark? High fly balls bounce on the warning track.
I think maybe Cameron thought he got all of that one. But he'll cruise into second with a ground rule double. Runners at second and third. Nobody out. Pinch hitters Cody Ashe. And they're going to walk Ashe. We'll bring up the top of the order. So Phils will have the bases loaded here with nobody out in the 7th.
It's a good way to finish the year on an intentional walk as a pinch hitter.
Well, maybe he'll stay in the game. We'll see. Cody Ashe's numbers as a pinch hitter, 3 for 12. 2 of those hits are home runs, though.
Well, Freddie, my star of the year, gets the bat with the bases loaded and the game on the line.
As Kodiashi takes his base. Yeah, let's see what he can do. I thought Cameron might have gotten a hold of that. If he had, it would have been his 10th home run. He would have been the 6th Philly to get into double digits in home runs this year. He just missed that. Well, it's now time for our timeless moment, brought to you by Coors Banquet. And we go back to the date, 1983, this date, the NLCS Game 1 at Los Angeles. Mike Schmidt homers as the third batter of the game. And Steve Carlton and Al Holland blanked the Dodgers 1-0 on 7 singles. You remember that?
My old friend Jerry Royce.
Is that right?
Yeah.
1983 season that ended in the World Series against the Baltimore Orioles. First pitch to Freddie Galvis is outside for a ball. Bases loaded with Phillies. Nobody out here in the 7th. It's outside for a ball. It's 2-0 now. So Rienzo finds himself in a little bit of trouble. He walks Herrera to lead off the inning. Then Cameron Rupp doubled, ground rule doubled. They walk Kodiashi, and that's where we are. With bases loaded, 2 out, or nobody out. It's 2-0 count. .2-0 pitch. And outside for a ball. It's 3-0. No place to put him.
Green light.
I'm thinking take it twice.
3-0, bases loaded.
And he's taking all the way, and it's outside for a ball. He walked him. So the go-ahead run comes across the plate in the body of Odubel Herrera as Freddie Galvis is walked with the bases loaded. And that might bring out, it's going to bring out a conversation from the Miami Marlins. Going to chat with Rienzo about what's going on here in the 7th. So the Phils have a 3-2 lead. Still nobody out here in the 7th. Aaron Altair will be the batter. 12 balls and 3 strikes so far for Andre Rienzo. 15 pitches thrown. That is not what you're looking for if you're the Miami Marlins. So Aaron Altair will have a chance to break this one wide open. Altair is 1 for 3. He doubled his last at bat. $21,000+ here at Citizens Bank Park today. Hoping that Altair can do some damage right here. First pitch swinging is Altair, line drive into center field. Ozuna's on the run. He's not going to get it. It's going to go all the way back to the wall. 3 runs are going to score. Altair cruising into third, and he will be safe at third with a triple. Bases clearing triple for Aaron Altair, and the Phils lead it 6-2.
Good call, man. Good call, Greg. Wow. Smoked the first pitch. They went out and said, hey, look, you got to throw strikes, man. Okay.
Now they got one.
And he almost caught Freddie going around the bases.
I say it every single time I see it. Aaron Altair can run the bases as good as anybody.
We're looking pretty good, guys. Staying on that loss number, you know.
The number we do not want to say.
The one we don't want to talk about.
That's right.
We haven't mentioned it all day, and we will not.
Well, that's going to bring out another conversation by the Miami Marlins. Ureña's currently warming up in the Marlins bullpen, and probably just trying to give him a little bit of extra time. As Aaron Altair shows John Mizrak down at third base what he did there in order to triple.
It was a good read by Freddie Galvis as well. Realizing that Ozuna would not get to the ball.
And that will indeed bring out Dan Jennings, and he is going to make a pitching change. Jose Ureña was warming up in the bullpen. It looks like we will see the right-hander coming in. Not a good outing for Rienzo. Andre Rienzo's day is done. We have a pitching change. The Phils lead it 6-2. January 20th through the 24th, 2016. Join the Legends lineup that now includes, guy to my right, Mike Schmidt, for coaching, camaraderie, and baseball like you've never played it before, plus a 1-hour hitting clinic with Michael Jack Schmidt. Create memories that last a lifetime. Book now at PhilliesFantasyCamp.com. Well, the Phils are doing some damage here in the bottom of the 7th. They put 4 on the board. Nobody out. Aaron Altair down there at 3rd, and Jose Urania is the new pitcher for the Marlins. Making his 20th appearance, he's 1-5 with an ERA of 5.34. He is going to face Miguel Franco and Darren Ruff.
No better feeling than standing down on 3rd base after clearing the bases with a triple, while the other team changes pitchers. You get to stand there and gloat.
Talk to John Mizrak and get some congratulations. It's Aaron Altair's 4th triple of the year. So he's got 10 doubles, 4 triples, 5 home runs, lots of extra base hits for Aaron Altair since being called up from AAA.
And a lot of very good plays in the outfield.
Yeah,
he's going to be a tough one to keep out of the lineup next year.
Yeah, I think you're right about that. So Miguel Franco will step in. Still nobody out in the 7th. First pitch to Franco is in and out of the glove of Talise. It's inside for a ball. It's 1-0.
One thing that worries me about next year's lineup is it's working its way into being predominantly right-handed,
which for so long was the complete opposite for the Phillies. Pitch. He swings through that. It's 1-1.
I think we were looking in a little bit on that pitch there, Matty.
I can tell because that front foot left the
That's the old. I would have missed that one with a boat oar. I'll tell you one thing he'll do though. He'll change. He'll go back to another area of the plate.
That one's outside for a ball. It's 2-1. The infield is in for the Marlins. They're going to try to cut off any more runs in this inning. So Franco could just poke one through, get himself an RBI. Two-one pitch. It's outside for a ball, breaking ball. Misses, so it's 3-1 now to Miguel Franco.
It's a tough pitch to lay off right there.
I was just thinking the exact same word. Man, that's a good take.
You both were swinging up here.
2-1 last game of the year, right?
You're getting the old snap hook dragon thrown at you.
Jeez.
Hitters count. Here's the 3-1 pitch, and that's outside for a ball, so we walked him. Runners at the corners now for the Phils. Guys, don't forget, Thursday night, Flyers opening night has arrived. Watch as new head coach Dave Haxtell and the Flyers travel to Tampa Bay to start their season against the Lightning. Total Flyers opening night coverage starts Thursday night at 6:30, only on Comcast Sportsnet.
That is one tough game to start your season off versus the Tampa Bay Lightning.
Yeah. On the road in Tampa. I wish the Flyers the best of luck as they get their season underway. Runners at the corners. Darren Ruff at the plate takes that one over for a strike. And there's what you were talking about earlier, Mike. Like to see him
well, you know, I mean, God, we all know how adept he is at hitting the left-handers, but I just hate for him not to be aggressive against right-handed pitching. Men in scoring position.
One's in the dirt, so it's 1-1 to Darren Ruff.
See, I'm just not sure where you can get your confidence to take that pitch when you know there's one pitch you want. It's a fastball right there with men in scoring position. I mean, I'd rather see him check swing or have a bad swing at a ball in the dirt than I would take the one right down the middle.
Swings through that one, so it's 1-2 now to Darren Ruff. Still nobody out here in the bottom of the 7th. 4 runs across in the inning. Runners lead off first and third. Altair and Franco.
Here comes another fastball.
1-2 pitch. Going inside for a ball. It's 2-2.
It's an RBI. RBI at bat for sure. We know that, but this is where you need an RBI swing. You know what I mean? You need an RBI. I'm gonna get somebody in. Want to make contact. He'll get somebody in if he hits a ground ball.
2-2 pitch. Swings through it. Strikeout victim Darren Ruff. So that's the first out of the inning. The runners will stay where they are, first and third. And that'll bring up Jeff Francoeur.
Well, I can guarantee right now that if he gets a first pitch fastball for a strike, Frenchie is not going to take it. If he thinks he can get the barrel to it, he will swing and he will be aggressive. So that being said, pretty good chance you're seeing an off speed. No, heater in.
And he is swinging, and he knocks that one over the head of D. Gordon, who goes back a couple of steps and makes the catch. So a looping line drive pulled in by D. Gordon for the second out. And the runners have to stay where they are. So now 2 outs. And that'll bring up Andres Blanco.
Frenchie's bat seems to be moving a smidge slow today. This must be long season coming to an end. he's hit a lot of balls on the wrong part of the bat.
See Frenchie. Well, Andres Blanco will get a chance. He's the 9th batter to come to the plate this inning. And with runners on the corners and 2 outs, he'll get an opportunity. He's 1 for 3 on the afternoon. He doubled back in the 4th inning. Blanco.
Big 2-0 knock right here.
Here's the 1-0 pitch. Swing and a miss. It's 1-1. Urania has his sign. The 1-1 pitch fouled straight back. It's 1-2 to Andres Blanco. Odubel Herrera waits on deck. He got this inning started with a walk to lead off the inning. Scored later on a Freddie Galvis walk. One-two pitch. Ground ball first base. Bohr smothers it and steps on the bag for the final out of the inning. But not before the Phils are able to do some damage. They put 4 across and will head to the top of the 8th. They lead it 6-2. the official entertainment provider of the Philadelphia Phillies. And by Nissan. Choose Nissan today for great offers on our most exciting lineup ever. Shop Nissan.com. Well, we head to the top of the 8th on what has turned out to be a beautiful afternoon in Philadelphia. Phillies lead at 6-2, and it's time for our Hyundai defensive plays of the game, guys. And, well, it's David Buchanan.
Well, if they talk about good defense is the best way to play, well, good pitching is another way. David Buchanan today threw very well. 4 strikeouts right there, all on off speed. Make that number 5 with a good slider to Ozuna and a really good fastball to Mathis. So today he had very good control of his changeup, very good control of his curveball, spotting his fastball. And the kid that got his hat is extremely happy. That is your Hyundai defensive play the games, brought to you by our local Hyundai dealers.
Yeah, a pretty nice gesture. I was talking to Wheels in the men's room about that. Replacing Buchanan and leaving men, and we said, well, the ultimate thing that's important is winning the game.
That is true, and it all seems to have worked out. 7 strikeouts for David Buchanan today. That's a career high for him. Dalier Hinojosa is the new pitcher for the Phils. He's been a workhorse in the later parts of this season, an ERA of 0.82 for Hinojosa. And that one's a bit high to Ichiro Suzuki, and 2-0. So Odubel Herrera stays in, and he'll play center field. Then Aaron Altair moves over to left, and then over to first base goes Darren Ruff. So Aaron Kratz's day is done, as we know. 2-0 pitch sails outside, so it's 3-0 to Ichiro Suzuki.
Still a lot of scoreboard watching going on around baseball.
3-0 pitch. That's over for a strike. What do you think of the start times all being at 3:05 Eastern? I think it's pretty cool.
I didn't like it.
Why not?
I didn't like it. I liked the fact that one, if you looked up, if you're playing on the West Coast, East Coast game is done, and you do not have to go out and win the game, and you're already in.
Well, that's the whole point.
Well, why change the game?
I like it.
I figured you would.
3-2 pitch. Foul back. So every team that's involved in either trying to lock up a postseason spot or get home field advantage, if they're watching scoreboards and they're playing the game, and then that's the way it should be. No backing in. Here's the 3-2 pitch. Swing and a miss, and he got him. So he battles back from a 3-0 count. He gets Ichiro Suzuki swinging in the first out of the inning here in the top of the 8th. And that brings us to the Major League Notebook. Leslie.
Yes, a Major League Notebook brought to you by St. Joseph's University. Clayton Kershaw becomes the first pitcher with 300 strikeouts in a season since Randy Johnson and Curt Schilling did it in 2002. He's just the 34th pitcher in baseball history to log over 300 strikeouts in a season. He's won 3 Cy Youngs, the 2014 MVP, and he's only 27 years old. That's crazy. Tough 4 months for Braves pitcher Shelby Miller. Miller has endured a very long losing streak. He has not won a game since May 17th, but he won today, and that makes him he is just the 10th pitcher in Major League history to have 6 wins or fewer and have an ERA that's sub 3.05, and it's the first time since that's happened since 1991. And one note for the Phillies, by the way, guys. Phillies pitching prospect Jesse Biddle will undergo Tommy John surgery on October 14th. He was called up to AAA mid-season 2015. He struggled quite a bit, went on the DL at the end of the season. Dr. Michael Siccotti will perform the surgery. He did have a second opinion from orthopedic surgeon Dr. James Andrews, but that means he's going to miss all of next year. He may get in some instructional league play if he rehabs well, but 2016 is now a wash for the local product, Jesse Biddle.
Yeah, that's a tough blow for Jesse Biddle, the former #1 pick for the Phils. We wish him all the best as he recovers from that surgery. It's happening in the middle of August, as Leslie pointed out. Not a bad season for Clayton Kershaw, huh? He ended up okay. He'll pitch in the postseason once again with the Los Angeles Dodgers.
If you take away the 17 losses by Shelby Miller, he had a good year.
Yeah, just take him away.
He had a 3.0. A 3.02.
His ERA was good. Yeah, they didn't score a whole lot of runs for him.
17 losses.
Justin Bour's the batter with 2 outs. That one's over for a strike. It's 1-1. Our Marcell Ozuna grounded out to Darren Ruff for the second out of the inning.
Trying to figure out why he's wearing glasses hitting.
And well, he lines that one down the left field line, and that's going to be in for extra base. It's going to go all the way back to the corner. Boer's going to round first and cruise into second base with a stand-up double.
Must have had something to do with maybe the shadow or the way the
you forgot to take
hitting.
them off.
Yeah.
Or on the other hand, yeah.
Or their X-ray.
Yeah. Maybe they are bad pitchers. Batter's eye glasses. You know, you get a bad batter's eye, you can wear these glasses. I'm sure they're going to come up with that one sooner or later.
Whatever they are, Joe West seemed to enjoy it down there at second base. Bring up Derek Dietrich with 2 outs, 1 for 3. Single back in the 4th inning. So Dalier Hinojosa, first pitch to Dietrich is inside for a ball. It's 1-0.
Those 4 runs look good right now.
They sure do. And he lofts that one down the left field line, and it is slicing foul and out of play. So it's 1-1 now to Derek Dietrich.
I want to get back to this conversation about the game at 3 o'clock and why you like it so much.
Well, here's the 1-1 pitch. Swings through that. It's 1-2 for that very reason.
Nobody's backing into anything now.
Well, I mean, it allows the teams to go out and play their game. You know, if you're the Los Angeles Dodgers and your game's at 8 o'clock and you know you don't need to win to get home field advantage throughout the playoffs, well, you might sit some guys. So it takes that away. It forces the manager to play his guys if the game is important for your franchise. I like that. 1-2 pitch. Going inside for a ball. It's 2-2.
You know, Murph, I'll change my decision and I'll go with you.
I will too.
All right.
I still like the old way, but because you changed your decision on the Greinke to Arrieta decision on the Cy Young.
I did.
By the way, we have Arrieta. Did you see that where I wrote that down? The other, I thought that was a lock too, right? Cy Young.
Yeah. It's a ground ball back up the middle. Freddie Galvis to his left. Throws across the diamond and beats him by a step. So nice play by Freddie Galvis to end the top of the 8th inning. 6-3 goes the putout. And we will head to the bottom of the 8th. Phillies lead by 4. For the Marlins, and it's Fan Appreciation Day here at Citizens Bank Park. That means prizes and surprises for lots of folks. And just moments ago, take a look at this cool moment. is Michael Rossi, and he was one of 5 finalists to win a Toyota Camry. Those were randomly selected finalists to select to win a Camry, and he hit his key fob, and he won himself a new car. So congratulations to Michael Rossi, courtesy, of course, from the Delaware Valley Toyota dealers, and he is a new car owner. And speaking of strange surprises on Fan Appreciation Day, how about a future Hall of Famer, Ichiro Suzuki, on the mound for the Marlins, guys? Things you never thought you'd see?
First pitch, 86.
First major league pitching appearance for Ichiro. And he is greeted by a line drive down to the right field corner by Odubel Herrera. Herrera's going to round first and cruise into second for a stand-up double. So Ichiro Suzuki meet Odubel Herrera, and that is a leadoff double.
Well, there's a few things you can look at it this way. He's going to get one out, and then they're going to bring another pitcher in. And is it possible that this is the last time you might see him on the ball field?
Well, I guess that's possible. But
with that need 60 hits for 3,000 thing, that's hard to believe.
You wouldn't think, but.
Well, he's going to face Cameron Rupp now, and first pitch to Rupp was outside for a ball. It's 1-0.
Why
a neat moment for sure. I'm not exactly sure why you would. 2-0 now to Cameron Rupp. Maybe it's on his baseball bucket list. He just wanted to pitch.
There's a lot of things on my bucket list that never came through, but.
And that one is swung on and hit to center field. Ozuna's going to make the catch. Tagging is Odubel Herrera. Throw comes in at third, not in time, so Herrera moves up to third, and there's one out. Ichiro Suzuki, I think, thought maybe he had let up a long ball. He had it all the way. He knew it. So that'll bring up Darnell Sweeney now, getting his first at bat on the afternoon. Runner down at third with one out. Pitch from Ichiro is swung on, and that's a line drive to right field. Going back on it is the right fielder, and that's up off the wall. So a run is going to score. That'll be a double for Darnell Sweeney. And, well, they're hitting him hard for sure. First pitch swinging to Sweeney.
Wow. I don't know what to make of this here, Matty. I kind of like your little deal there where he gets a little token opportunity to pitch, but I don't know if we should leave him out there to get knocked around.
Freddie Galvis is the batter, and he swings at the first pitch. And he fouls it off. So it's 7-2 Phillies now here in the eighth.
A breaking ball. Huh?
That was a good one. Over for a strike. It's 0-2. There's the new right fielder. It's Gillespie out there in right field.
That throws a new thing into the mix.
Freddie was right on that one.
Oh, he's going fastball again here on fastball away.
That one's in the dirt. So it's 1-2 now to Freddie Galvis.
Curveball.
1-2 pitch. Ground ball, second base. Up with it is Gordon, and he throws him out. So that's the second out of the inning. Darnell Sweeney will move up to third. 4-3 goes the put out. That'll bring up Aaron Altair. Well, Altair had the big blow back in the seventh inning.
Turn this into a big day right here, even though he's already had a big one.
Takes that first pitch, a little bit low and outside for a ball. Yeah, he's got a triple and a double today. He's 2 for 4. 3 RBIs on the triple, clearing the bases.
A little back, little 1-0 breaking ball. Get over slider for a strike. You can't tell me Ichiro hadn't been on the mound before.
Well, not up here, he hasn't. 1-1 pitch, line foul.
Ride that fastball up high. Where do you think he's going to go now, Matt?
Breaking ball.
Wants to get that first major league strikeout?
Wow. Slider.
Here's the 1-2 pitch. That's in the dirt, and that's going to get past the catcher Talise, but Sweeney unable to advance. So he'll stay put at third base. The count is 2-2 now to Altair. Ichiro Suzuki did pitch in a Japanese All-Star game back in 1996.
Really?
Yes, he did high and inside to Altair. Yeah, the internet's an amazing thing. Find out just about anything. So the count is full to Aaron Altair. Here's the 3-2 pitch. Swung on and hit well down the left field line, but that is hooking foul.
I don't know about hit well.
Yeah, not as well as I thought.
Ichiro features a 3-2 slider to Aaron Altair.
What's he coming back with?
With a 5-run lead.
Fastball away.
All right, here's the 3-2 pitch. Foul back.
He's grinding. He is grinding this inning out.
Uncle Charlie coming.
3-2. And that one is hit left field. Derek Dietrich is underneath it, and he catches it for the final out. So, well,
let's watch the reception here in the dugout.
Absolutely. Ichiro Suzuki coming off, and we'll get some handshakes from his teammates in the Marlins dugout. He allowed a run, a couple of hits in his major league pitching debut. And we'll head to the top of the ninth at 7-2. Comcast will make a contribution to Phillies charities. Phillies baseball is brought to you by Xfinity, the official entertainment provider of the Philadelphia Phillies. 3 times Phillies pitchers have been able to do that. It's Miami today. Now he's telling stories about his pitching career in the major leagues.
Well, the pitching coach can't even.
Whatever story he's telling, they certainly enjoyed it. So we are here in the top of the ninth, and Kenny Giles is coming into this game. Not a safe situation. 69th appearance for Kenny Giles, 6-3, an ERA of 1.83. As Pete Buchanan's going to ask his closer to finish off this season. First pitch swinging is Casey McGee. Swings through it. It's 0-1.
Casey needs a knock to get over that 200 mark.
The Mendoza line.
And now there's something out in center field that they'd like Odubel Herrera to remove.
Just put it in your pocket. Thank you.
That's what he's doing. I think it was just a bag of some kind. You see the Phillies players all up on the rail. Marlins dugout looks the same. And here's the 0-1 pitch. So it's 1-1 now to Casey McGee.
See a little Ryan Howard standing there by the rail, do I not?
Yep.
Swings at that one and slices foul out of play. So it's 1-2 now to Casey McGee. There's Ryan Howard.
Hiding behind those white sunglasses and that hoodie. Said he feels good before the game. Chatted with him down there.
Well, hopefully he is on the mend and comes to spring training feeling good. And that's a called third strike. So Kenny Giles gets the first out of the inning. The backwards K. And that's the first out here in the top of the ninth. And that'll bring up Tomas Talis, the catcher for Miami. Well, guys, with one out here in the ninth, I don't want to wait too long to say what a great season it was having you both up here in the booth. I know I speak for Tom McCarthy, who spent the majority of the time up here with you guys, and it was a lot of fun. It's hard to believe that 2015 is, well, it's going to be a thing of the past in just a couple of minutes. So on behalf of all the folks down there in the production truck and everybody who gets this broadcast on the air, thanks to you guys for all that you did. Mike, it's a pleasure working with you.
It's a pleasure for me to have this opportunity. Maddie, you know I work with you a lot. Ben, of course. This is a lot of fun for me. I'm only here for 13 weekends. And I know the work you guys do, and it's not easy traveling all year and doing 10 times the work behind these microphones that I do, but I appreciate the opportunity. You guys are a lot of fun for me to work with.
Well, it has been a lot of fun, and I think the best thing about it is that it never really does seem like work when we get a chance to broadcast Major League Baseball games.
Well, not when you're talking about baseball. It's a good time. It's fun. Mike, I've been really enjoyed working with you again. Look forward to in the future. And Ben Davis, of course, coming in for Jamie Moyer. It was a blast working with him as well. And Murph, true professional. Tom as well, and Leslie filling in. So it's been a joy for me, and thanks everyone down the truck as well.
Yeah, Jeff Alekman, our producer, and John DeSangro, and Ray Tipton, and Nick Marquetta, and all the guys, men and women that, as we said, put the broadcast on each and every day, 162 times, not including the spring training games that we brought you back in March. So thanks to all of them as well, and all their hard work for a job well done. Well, it's 2-0 right now to Miguel Rojas, and he fouls that one straight back. So 2-1 with 2 outs. And the fans that are here at Citizens Bank Park are on their feet, looking for one maybe final strikeout of the 2015 season.
Even though we're 1 out away from the season being over, I cannot wait for 2016 spring training.
Yeah,
I really can't.
There is going to be a lot going on in this offseason, and it should be a lot of fun as well. 2-2 now to Miguel Rojas.
Well, it is going to be an interesting offseason, guys. I think everybody knows that. It's a chance for us to all get into the maneuvering and the rebuilding and trying to set ourselves up to come back to contention.
I think we all agree that things are starting to look up, and that's important. Here's the 2-2 pitch. Ground ball back up the middle. That's going to be a base hit, so postpone it just a bit. Will Miguel Rojas.
That's fine. We can talk about it.
That's right. And that'll bring up pinch hitter for the Marlins. It's Donovan Solano, the pinch hitter. So a runner on first base. We started off the broadcast today talking about some of the bright spots from 2015 and looking forward. And you guys mentioned Freddie Galvis, Mike, you did, and Cesar Hernandez, Matt, you talked about him, and some of the other guys. This young pitching staff that has gotten a chance to pitch at the end of this season. Certainly the guy on the mound right now is a bright spot.
Yeah.
As Rojas is going to have to head on back to first. Aaron Nola has finished up his first part of his first major league season, and he's only going to benefit from the experience he got. Jared Eichhoff and Adam Morgan, and guys that we didn't really talk about before this season. Yeah. We're talking about them now, and of course that guy down there at third base. Runners off.
Some guys in the bullpen as well. I'd like to see what's going to happen with Oganda next year and Colton Murray. They come up. They impressed me with their fastball and the way they threw. Hinojosa coming over from the Red Sox. What a great pickup he's been. So I think there's going to be a lot of interesting moves this offseason. And don't be surprised you come into spring training, this team's going to be a lot stronger than people think.
Of course, Andy McPhail will have his plan and put that into place as the Phillies' new president. Should be a lot of fun. The 1-1 pitch is on the outside corner for a strike. It's 1-2.
Well, there's no doubt we got to build the pitching staff, and you know, we're talking Nola and Eichhoff and those guys, Adam Morton. We need some sort of a veteran presence in there somewhere to anchor the starting staff. Only about Aaron Harang. I'm not sure what his contract status is, but we will find out.
He got the final strikeout right there, did Kenny Giles. Yes, we will find out, Mike Schmidt, because there's a lot of work to be done. Get ready for the 2016 season, but the Phillies finish the 2015 season, well, on a high note. They win today 7-2. And Kenny Giles gets the final strikeout of 2015. Aaron Altair, well, he is your Chevy player of the game. And why not, Matt? He had the big hit that put the Phils up by 4.
He's been swinging the bat well today. Had a nice day. Came up that bases loaded. What I really liked about the bases loaded, he came up after all the walks. You know, that's why you see right here in the 7th inning, bases loaded, walk to Freddie Galvis. He comes up, first pitch, hammers the ball right center, clears the bases for a triple. I like seeing him be very aggressive in that situation. I know that fan's happy. The Fanatics happy. That's why it's your W. Mason delivery of the game.
Absolutely. He's our Chevy player of the game as well. He's getting some handshakes, as are all of the teammates. The Phils giving some final handshakes, some hugs, and wishing each other well. And I'll get a chance to spend some time in the clubhouse over the next hour or two, and a chance to say goodbye as Jeff Francoeur has removed the jersey off his back and thrown that into the crowd. A souvenir for that man right there. That's what it's all about. And it looks like Aaron Altair has joined Leslie Goodell down on the field. Leslie, take it away.
Yeah, and you know what? What a great way to end the season for you guys, Aaron. Like, how meaningful was it for you guys to get a win in this final game?
Yeah, it's big. You know, we wanted to go into the offseason on a high note, and I think we did that. And we're just gonna get rest up in this offseason and get better next year, and just go into spring training ready to go.
As far as your personal success, of your 32 career hits so far, 20 of them are for extra bases, 11 doubles, 5 triples, 4 triples, 5 home runs. How pleased are you with how you've been able to contribute and make a difference at the right time with this team?
Yeah, I'm real happy. You know, that's all I wanted to do. Just come up here and show that I belong and I can help the team win. And you know, I just thank God for that, for the opportunity, and I hope I can just continue to keep doing that in my career.
There's obviously motivation to get here. Now there's motivation to stay here. What's your off season like?
You know, I'm just gonna relax for a little bit, and probably in November start cranking things up again. You know, start swinging, start working out again, and you know, just getting prepared for spring training and do this all over again.
What do fans have to be most excited about or to look forward to? Because you guys avoided that 100-loss season, and that number was a number for you guys. I know you didn't focus on too much, but was that important? And what can you give fans hope for coming in the next year?
You know, we got a lot of talent. You know, we got a lot of young guys on this team that I think we're going to be really good in the next couple of years. So we definitely have a lot of things to look forward to.
All right, thanks. Appreciate your time, Aaron.
All right, thank you, Leslie, and Aaron Altair. And, you know, Jeff Francoeur started something here. He threw his jersey up into the crowd, and now, well, all kinds of pieces of clothing are being thrown into the crowd here. It is Fan Appreciation Day, and the guys in the Phillies clubhouse, the guys in the dugout, are showing just that, their appreciation for the fans that made it out here for the final game of the season. There you see Aaron Nola just took his off. Adam Lowen going to find a lucky recipient for his jersey. Eric Kratz just threw his about 30 rows deep. David Buchanan hangs his off to a young fan as well. So a nice scene here in Philadelphia as the 2015 season has come to a close. We're going to be right back to put a wrap on the season, so don't go anywhere.